Hello, hello, and welcome to Bitesized Podcast. I'm your host, Zandalee. Bitesized Podcast is a nutrition-focused podcast for pregnancy, postpartum, and baby starting solids. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe and catch up on all our previous episodes. First things first, I wanted to do another segment of Kids Say the Darndest Things. For a little context, I do work with preschoolers, and while we were discussing what they might want to be when they grow up, one of them said they would like to be the tooth fairy. To be honest, me too. I was obsessed with fairies growing up, and while kids losing teeth honestly makes me gag, if I could be a fairy, seems like a pretty decent job. Now getting into our bite-sized snack of the week, today we are talking about postpartum hydration. Let's just say those early postpartum days can best be described as leaky when it comes to liquids of all kinds. Not only might you leak breast milk as you begin that journey, there's also the lochia, night sweats, and maybe some crying from hormones, joy, struggles, or tiredness. So you can see why hydration is key to support you through these leaks and also to begin to restore your balance, energy, and breast milk production, should you choose to breastfeed, which I do encourage. While we are going to get into various hydrating methods, my number one tip to you is to make sure you have a good water bottle to keep beside you. My Stanley Cup girls rejoice, you are gonna love this. Having a big water bottle to keep on your nightstand, beside your nursing chair, in the living room, is going to be a game changer. If you don't have a favorite yet, put it on your baby registry if you've still got time, or make that splurge and get one you think you'll love, especially if it has a straw. Now, of course, the miracle that is water. It is essential and it does nourish every cell in our body. While I personally have got better about this and don't mind good old plain water, I know it's not everyone's favorite. So you can always try to infuse it with berries, cucumber, lemon, mint, or citrus fruit. Breastfeeding moms should be aiming to drink about 4 liters of water or liquids a day, which is a lot, but I believe in you. If you are a tea lover, some herbal teas are also a great option to help keep you hydrated. Sometimes having a flavor can help you drink more, especially if you feel nervous about meeting 4 liters a day. Rosehip tea is an option high in vitamin C and antioxidants, which will strengthen your immunity. Nettle tops tea is rich in iron, which will help to replenish your iron stores, which take a hit during birth. It also contains vitamin C, which helps absorb iron. It helps to support the body in ridding the body of excess water retention. Some women certainly retain a lot of water when pregnant, so this would be helpful to depuff a bit. Red raspberry leaf tea is also a great option. While many hear this as a suggestion to induce labor, that is because it stimulates uterine contractions. So again, this will help shrink the uterus down to pre-pregnancy size. You can also make a big pot of this tea and then let it cool in the fridge if you prefer an iced tea version. Next is electrolytes. We've talked about this a bit in previous episodes, but electrolytes are very important in those early weeks after birth, since they're involved in rebuilding tissue damage and so can help to begin your recovery. Electrolytes are also helpful in muscle contractions, so as your uterus continues shrinking down in that time after birth, electrolytes are going to assist with this. Some electrolyte options include coconut water or coconut ice cubes. Remember to check the label so there's no added sugar, just coconut and water. You can also do celery juice or lemon and lime water. You just mix those in with a little bit of water, and they taste great. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to use my code. My next suggestion is not a liquid itself, but it can be added to liquids to help support recovery. That is collagen, ideally grass-fed collagen. Collagen powder is flavorless, so try to mix it into smoothies or oatmeal or even hummus. Collagen is helpful during the postpartum period as it aids in tissue repair, helps tighten skin, and contains protein which helps balance blood sugar. Collagen also supports joints, which may be at risk after birth. During pregnancy, the body releases relaxin, a hormone to loosen ligaments, which is obviously very helpful when you're birthing a baby. So supporting the joints and returning to normal with collagen is a great option. If you're looking for a collagen supplement, be sure to check out Needed's collagen powder. It actually contains 15 grams of protein, which is so amazing, and they also offer an electrolyte support. It comes in lemon, lime, and grapefruit flavor, or a variety pack to add to your water. Use my code Bitesized for 20% off your order. Now I have finished telling you about some wonderful beverage options to help you through this thirsty time, but I bet as a new mom you have been waiting for me to give you the go-ahead on some of those beverages that might have been missed by you during pregnancy, like caffeine and alcohol. So while the above are nourishing, amazing options, and as a matcha girly, I get that you might be longing for that glass of wine or a second cup of coffee. So let's chat about it a bit. Coffee. Coffee is an interesting one because in those sleepless days of newborn life, surviving on coffee might seem like a good idea, or even the only thing getting you by. But caffeine has some interesting side effects not only for mom, but for baby. For mom, it can leave you jittery, anxious, and less patient, which are not ways I think you'd want to describe yourself as a new mom. Caffeine actually causes the adrenal glands to produce adrenaline and cortisol, which is a stress hormone, so those possibly stressful days of motherhood might not be handled as well without caffeine. Now for babies, if you are breastfeeding, many have been found to be quite sensitive to caffeine found in mom's milk. If you are a new mom or maybe started drinking coffee right away again, it can be easy to miss the signs of caffeine stimulation in baby. These signs include being unusually fussy, wide-eyed, overly alert or active, and not staying asleep for long periods of time. Now, I don't want to tell you to give up caffeine completely, especially if that is your moment of self-care for the day. A warm cup of coffee. So ideally, aiming for 0 to 150 milligrams a day would be great, but less than 300 to 500 milligrams should still be okay. If you're not sure how much caffeine is in your beverages, here are some hints. 1 cup of coffee is between 100 and 200 milligrams. That's not 1 mug, meaning your largest mug, but an actual cup of 250 milliliters. Black tea is at 60 milligrams and green tea is at 30 milligrams per cup. Dark chocolate is between 5 and 35 milligrams per ounce. So use that how you will. Perhaps this information is making you consider switching over to matcha. Let me just say, the Matcha Girl Club is ready to have you. Matcha is a green tea leaf extract, and while it still contains caffeine, it is a more modest amount. Many still found it gave them a more sustained burst of energy rather than a spike and crash often experienced with coffee. Matcha also has amazing antioxidant properties and contains L-theanine, which promotes concentration and improves mental clarity. I would suggest adding about a half a teaspoon into some boiling water and then adding it to your favorite milk, warm or cold. So come on over to the Matcha Club. Now lastly, alcohol. Personally, my advice would be that if you aren't a big drinker to begin with, just keep avoiding it. It doesn't really have any nutritional benefits or value. But as a margarita fan, I get the appeal of finally being able to indulge a bit again. Firstly, let's address some rumors of alcohol stimulating milk production. I know my mom told me her milk took some time to come in and her mom made her drink a dark beer and then bam, milk. So why does this work? It's because a lot of beer contains hops, which is a type of carbohydrate that has the ability to increase prolactin, which is one of the hormones responsible for how much breast milk is produced. But sometimes the alcohol content obscures any benefits the hops may have had. While we will talk about supply in another episode, I would suggest looking for a whole food source of galactagogues, which are those milk-stimulating carbs. Studies show that alcohol generally inhibits milk production, so this is something to consider. When an infant also consumes breast milk that has alcohol content, their sleep is affected for the worse. Studies have found that the sleep will be about 25% shorter than usual. The American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology suggests waiting at least 2 hours after each serving of alcohol for it to be eliminated from the bloodstream, and therefore the milk. A serving is considered 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of hard alcohol. Lastly, a common phrase you might have heard is pump and dump. Don't follow this and don't waste your milk. I would instead recommend pumping. Having a little stock of milk should you want to drink would be a great option, or at least doing so prior to consuming any if you can't wait 2 hours in between drinks to feed baby. So there you have it, friends, how to hydrate your body in those early postpartum days and how to navigate caffeine and alcohol. I hope you found this episode helpful, encouraging, and inspiring. As a reminder, I have some discount codes for you. Needed is a wonderful supplement company. I suggested their collagen, but they also have many other wonderful products, including a prenatal, the electrolyte powder, and all of these can be added to your beverage rotation. You can use my code Bitesized for 20% off your order. Now, you may not be thinking baby number 2 yet or ever, and that's where Ovry comes in. You can use their ovulation strips to avoid baby number 2, or if you're feeling too under 2, you can plan for that as well. My code is Bitesized10 for 10% off your order. Thank you so much for tuning in today, friends. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us wherever on social media at bitesized.podcast. And in case no one has told you today, you look radishing. Bye! Although I am a certified holistic nutrition consultant, I am not your consultant. The information herein is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only and does not always apply to your specific needs. While I strive to provide you the most up-to-date information about nutrition, this is not a substitute for professional and medical advice, and you should definitely speak to your personal healthcare practitioner for advice tailored to you.